The following is a paid program. Talk 103.7 WTIP and Cable Channel 7 welcome you into Financially Speaking with Jim Taunton. Find us live on radio, TV, the IBX Media app, and on YouTube. Just search Financially Speaking NC or get the link at WTIPFM.com. The opinions expressed in this show are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities and investment advisory services are offered through Genoa Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Now, here's your host for Financially Speaking, certified financial advisor, Jim Taunton.
Welcome to Financially Speaking. Taunton here. I am live. It is Thursday, May 1st, and I'm sitting here. And so you can call in with a question. Anything financially related will do. I'd love to talk to you. And I have actually one more of these books, Louis Navaliere's new book, The Sacred Truths of Investing, Finding Growth Stocks That Will Make You Rich. That is the name of the book. And it is a bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list, and it is a good read. And I'm going to give that away to the first caller. I've given away 3 already. This will make the 4th one, and that'll be it. I don't think they're going to send me any more books. They want to make some money on it. So call me during the break, and we'll take your call first when we come back. And the number here is 252, always, 561-TALK, 561-8255. I have some information I've put together to impart to you, but I'd rather talk to you about something that you think is important. So give me a call, 561-TALK, 561-8255. And we'll take your call when we come back from the break in about 2 minutes. See you then.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Hello, welcome back to Financially Speaking. Don't believe we had a caller. But anytime you're in the program, if you call, the first caller, again, is going to receive this wonderful book. People watching YouTube, you can see the cover there. The Sacred Truths of Investing by Louis Navalliere. I just received a notification, by the way, on my phone that someone had just subscribed to the YouTube channel. That's pretty cool. Her name is Tanya. Thanks, Tanya, for doing that. And you can do it as well. The YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube and search, it'll be Financially Speaking NC for North Carolina. Financially Speaking NC. And in the middle of the page is a live button. If you click live, it'll list the archive them that we've done while we've been simulcasting on YouTube, which was several years. So if you ever miss the program and you want to hear it, you can always go there and watch it, but it's on live right now. If you go there and hit subscribe, you'll get notifications every week when I'm going on air. And you can watch it on your phone. You don't have to be near a radio. So there you have that. All right, remember the number, 561-TALK, 561-8255. And first caller gets a book. All right. We've had some things going on, needless to say. But this week in particular, there was a very important number that was released, and that was GDP growth, or the lack thereof. And we had a retraction for the first quarter, January through March. It was negative 0.3%. So it's hardly even worth calling it a retraction. We are not in recession. This was a singular, temporary event. And I actually, as soon as I got the number, I sent one of my blast emails out. I send emails out to all of my clients periodically. Normally, they're every 5 to 7 weeks. But if I have something like this that I really want to get out immediately, I'll burn an email and it goes out to all of my clients. And as soon as I saw that, I wanted my clients to understand the truth of the matter. Because if you listen to a lot of the national media outlets, you will not get the truth of the matter. And that negative 0.3 GDP meant absolutely nothing. And the reason is the first quarter we had massive importing, the most I believe we've ever had, massive importing. And why, Jim? Well, companies were trying to beat the implementation date of the tariffs. So if there was any order, any product, any part, anything that they were going to be needing that was going to have tariffs placed on it after that implementation date, they went ahead and got it. That is what caused our negative 0.3% GDP. Because our economy is doing quite well, thank you. Quite well. And that's one of the reasons that the Fed has been so slow in lowering rates. I'm getting a dial tone or a ringy dingy. I don't know why, but we are.
Got a caller, Anthony.
Oh, I like that. Good. Anthony, this is Jim. You're on the air. Go right ahead with your question.
Hey, yeah, Jim. Just wondering, I've got an opportunity to fund 401k through work. Should I go with the traditional 401k or the Roth? I mean, it would be best to fund both of them if I could, but
yeah,
if you can choose one or the other, which would you start with?
How old are you?
53.
53. All right. It's. I need more information, and it's kind of information you would not want to give me over the air.
All right.
To really make a good recommendation on that. I don't like converting from traditional to Roth, but if you're starting from scratch and building, there's nothing wrong with Roth, except you do miss the immediate deduction for contributions.
Yeah, that's right.
I personally favor going ahead and getting my deduction now because we don't know what tax rates will be. And the government can always change rules of the game later. So if you're postponing your tax benefit to later, they could change their mind. They do that,
Yeah, that's true.
So I like getting that deduction now myself.
Okay.
But that's certainly not a recommendation to you because I would need more information, about your situation. But it is a great question and a question that a lot of people have.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, bud.
And where are you calling from, Anthony?
Calling from Greenville.
Calling from Greenville, far, far away.
Yeah, just across town.
I appreciate your listening and picking up the phone and dialing the number. Thank you very much. Great
All right,
question.
sure, man. All right, well, have a good one.
And I'm gonna, you can hang up, but I'm gonna give out my contact information. If you want to get more detailed information, you can contact me. But I'll give that out after you hang up. All right, let me do that for Anthony and anyone else that wants to contact me directly, not on the air. My phone number at the office is 252 756 4700, 756 4700. My email is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. And you can see right over my left shoulder there how to spell my name. So email jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. And the website is jtauntonfinancial.com. And you can find out everything you need to know and more about me on the website. Plus, there's an inquiry page. You can actually fill it out, and it'll click the button. It'll go to me by email, and I'll respond to you. So if you want to ask me a question or meet with me to discuss a thing or two, I would be glad to do that. First consultation with me is absolutely no cost, no obligation whatsoever. And at this stage in my career, I actually meet with people and answer some questions without any charge at all. I love talking with people and answering their questions. So let's continue. Let's hope for another caller, by the way. The number is 561-TALK, 561-8255. And I'd please interrupt the monologue at any point in time. So, what caused this negative 0.3% GDP was the massive importing that occurred, trying to beat the implementation date of the tariffs. That won't happen again. The people that I listen to and respect, hardly anyone is saying we're going into recession. And I just don't believe we are. I don't believe we'll go into recession. I don't think the tariffs are going to, I don't think we would have, even if all the tariffs have been implemented, but I just don't think there's going to be much of the tariff implementation, to be honest with you. Everyone is negotiating. Everyone's come to the table. And China is hurting. Their economy is imploding. China needs us much more than we need them. So they are going to come to the table. There's no doubt about that in my mind. They are going to come to the table, and I think it'll be within the next 45 to 60 days. And when they make an announcement that China has come to the table, we've negotiated, we have an agreement, this market that we're in now will explode, literally. It will go up like gangbusters. This is why you don't get out of markets. You don't know when these things are occurring. You don't know all the winds that are blowing, the directions and what have you. You just don't, no one can time the bottoms and tops of markets. No one. I've never seen anyone that could do that consistently well. Once in a while, someone will shoot a lucky shot, and they'll do the right thing. All right, we're actually mid-point of the program, so let's stop right now and go to a couple-minute break. Call me during this break, and I'll take your call first when we come back. Would love to chat with you about something you think is important to you. And if you call in with a question, as always, your name goes into the drawing for the dinner for two at Ontabola. I'll even pay the tip. Great place to eat. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Aiden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Aiden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Aiden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here. Don't believe we had a caller. Haven't heard my little ringy dingy. That's a good way. You've done that before, and I just forgot what it was, Mr. Producer. But that's a good way to notify me of a caller. All right. Call me anytime. 561 talk. 561-8255. There you go. And I'd love to talk with you about something you feel is important to you. And again, you call in, your name goes into the drawing for the dinner for two at Tavola. I'll even pay the tip. There you go. All right. As I said, China's in trouble. They're going to be highly motivated to get this tariff thing, this trade war deal behind them. And you've heard it here first. I'm predicting China will come to the table and make a deal within the next 45 days to maybe 60 days. All right. And I believe you said Rick. Is that right?
Yes, that's Rick.
Okay, Rick, you're on the air. Go right ahead with your question.
Okay. I have been seeing commercials on TV about Wi-Fi.com, Wi-Fi.com, and they talk about what they pay, and I've looked at them online, and I'm considering investing there, and I just want to know what you think about that.
And you said refi.com?
Yeah, I think it's Wi-Fi.com. It sounds like you're not familiar with them.
I'm not.
They are basically, the way I understand it is they buy up delinquent or near default loans. They re-lend the money out or restructure the loans for people. And so they're buying these loans at 30% on the dollar, and then they're, reloading the money out, reorganizing, and when I could send them $50,000, and they're paying interest only. They're calling it a collateralized loan, and they're, if you in years like 6%, and it's scaled up till 10% if you leave. And that is pretty much as far as I can tell, it's a straight interest loan.
All right. First thing, Rick, I cannot recommend investment product that's not registered, and everything goes through the broker dealer that I'm utilizing. So I'm prohibited from doing that. I will say that I wouldn't do it as a safe haven guaranteed sort of thing, because that is definitely not the case. You do have some risk there. But I would not be able to sit down with you and discuss that particular investment, because again, it doesn't go through the broker dealer. But it's a great question, obviously. All right, Rick, you there? Okay, Rick hung up. Sorry I couldn't help you much, Rick, but you still are in the drawing for the Den of Dude Ontivola. So don't worry about that. Hope you win. All right. So you heard it here. Within 45 to 60 days, China will come to the table and a deal will be negotiated with them. And the market will take off like a rocket. In May, the Fed will cut rates. I'm making a lot of predictions today. It kind of makes me nervous. But you can hold my feet to the fire. You heard it here, and actually the video is stored on YouTube. You can go back and pull it up and say, Jim, see what you said. Yeah, I firmly believe that the Fed will lower rates in May. I mean, Europe has lowered rates 6 or 7 times already. The 2-year Treasury has plummeted. It is now well below 4%, 3.7-ish. And the Fed rate is still at 4.25, I believe. So they're behind the ball. They need to start reducing rates. You've got to keep the Fed rate in line, at least with the market conditions. And so that's going to happen. So there's another positive impetus to the stock market. When they start reducing rates, the old adage, don't fight the Fed, means that when they're reducing rates, you're in the market, you buy. When they're increasing rates, it puts a damper on the market and, you don't buy. That's the adage. Not necessarily true, but that's what they say. So we're going to look for that. Lowering rates. Second thing, there's no inflation. The Fed, they say they're data driven, and they've said that ever since Jay Powell took over. We look at the data, look at the data. But the data says there's no inflation. So there's another reason why they're going to feel free to lower rates.
Donald is on the line.
All right. Donald has called in. Thank you, Donald, for interrupting the monologue. I greatly appreciate that. You're on the air. Go right ahead with your question.
Well, I have a question, and I'm going to hang up after I ask it, but I would just like to hear your thoughts on if there is really any advantage to somebody using a reverse mortgage for any reason.
Okay. I'll be glad to answer that.
I'll hang up and listen to what you got to say, okay?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
I think I know that, Donald.
Yes, you do. I've been trying to explain this to my wife, so I'm going to let you explain it so I can explain it to her.
Yeah, I'll be glad to talk about it.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
I will talk about it, but it's another one of those unregistered things that I can't get directly involved with. So what I do if a client ever brings it up, I say, go to the bank and they'll probably put you through a little class and they'll teach you what you need to know. And then you can determine if it's something you want to do. So you would do that with the bank. But the reverse mortgage is simply another source of income in your retirement. And it's a way to tap into what is the largest resource that people have, the largest asset in a lot of cases, which is their home. And instead of going out and doing a second mortgage or an equity line and using money that way and then having to have a payment to pay it back, reverse mortgage says something different. It's reverse. They'll create a credit line for you, and you draw upon that as needed in retirement to supplement your retirement. you never make a payment, and then when you die, your home is sold by the bank and the balance is paid off, and then anything that's left out of the equity of the sale will go to your heirs. So you typically, now again, talk to the bank. I'm not giving advice on reverse mortgages. I cannot do that, but that's typically what happens. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, my house is paid for, and if when I retire, if I needed some extra money for something, I would have no hesitation to initiate a reverse mortgage at all. Okay.
So you don't think it's a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. It's just another tool in your toolbox.
Well, I see so many people advertising it on TV. I just can't see putting your house up. That's what you're doing. You're leveraging your house.
Go to your bank first. Go to your bank first. If you have a good relationship with them and tell them you're inquiring about a reverse mortgage, and they may put you with somebody. They may not do it. I mean, not all financial institutions will do reverse mortgages, but there's nothing wrong with it. But you need to make sure the contract reads correctly, and you might want an attorney to look it over and see if there's any gotchas in there. But no, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, well, I have no interest in it, but I had a friend that I found out that used it and passed away, and I was just shocked that they even used it. Well,
typically, again, what happens is the balance is paid off by the sale of the house, and the difference goes to the heirs. So the heirs aren't losing, an inheritance there, typically.
Yeah, they're just not going to get as much.
Right. Well, that's because the people that deserve to use it used it. They're the ones that. He bought the house and paid for it, and if he wanted to supplement his retirement, so be it.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Certainly. Thank you, Donald.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, and Donald is in the drawing for the Dinner for Two at Antavola. So there we go. We added 3 tonight. Won't be long. We'll have to have a drawing. So Fed will reduce rates probably in May. I'm predicting May. All right, hold my feet to the fire. Call me if they don't. And say, Jim, you were wrong. And I'll say, yep, you're right. I was wrong. And there's no inflation. Matter of fact, we have a little bit of deflation going on. And every economist in the world is schooled to fight it, deflation. Deflation is worse than inflation. So, the Fed should feel free to reduce rates. We also had an ADP payrolls number come out, or will be coming out, I'm sorry. And so look for that, the ADP payrolls number. If we have a negative number there, that is going to be very bullish for the market, because it'll show a slowing of hiring and possibly some layoffs. And the Fed, again, will feel even more free to lower interest rates. And that is always bullish for the stock market. But again, the biggest mover of the market will be when China and U.S. announce an agreement, for trade. Gosh, I've got about a minute left. And I wanted to mention one thing unrelated to everything I've talked about so far, but I had a real life case this week. Client had designated a minor as a beneficiary, and it doesn't matter if it's life insurance or IRA or any other account. You don't designate minors as beneficiaries. What happens if you do that? The portion that's supposed to go to that minor, it's held in a very low interest account by the court until the child is of majority. It's possible that the guardian could have access to some of the money by petitioning the court. It's a very arduous, rigorous process. You never want to do that. If you have minors, you need to create a trust in your will to hold assets for the minors, and you can designate how that money goes. So don't ever do that. All right, music in my ear. That means I'm out of time. This is Jim Taunton, as always, helping you make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.